Welcome, Diecast fans. I'm Tom Spanners Watson.
And I'm Frank the Euro Gibbs.
And welcome to the final round of the heats for the colour run.
That's right, Spanners. The last team to have a crack at the track is Team Orange, and there are some absolute beauties in the lineup tonight. I can't wait to see them blaze down the track.
Our fastest qualifier was Hugh Jazz. He is driving the custom Chevy C10.
That truck's pretty huge, Az. Alright, next up we got Gordon Shumway. He is driving the Mazda Repu Ute. He was our second fastest qualifier with a time of 14.901.
Then we've got Mikey Michelson. He is driving the Nova station wagon. His time of 15.781.
He's bound to do well with all of those flames. Then we've got Reggie Thistleton. He is driving the Ford Gran Torino Sport. His best time of 15.941.
Brandon Fitz tonight is driving the McLaren 720S. So far, the European cars have not done well.
And rounding out Team Orange's Max Speed. He is driving my favourite Holden Monaro, and unfortunately had a very slow qualifying time there.
Kind of ironic there with the name Max Speed to be at the back of the pack with the slowest time. Let's see if he can do better during the racing.
You can never count out a Holden, mate.
As they leave the gate for the first time, the Mazda jumps out to an early lead. C10 on his tail, but that Mazda is absolutely flying. The C10 trying to catch up, but he is not going to come anywhere near him in a 13.462 time. Whoa, hang on, there's been a huge accident at the finish line. Looks like we've got a bogan down.
It was all on in this race right from the get-go. Look at Brandon Fitz there, jams himself into the rear end of poor old Reggie Thistleton. Reggie gets flung upside down, and then as he crosses the finish line, comes across, hits a pig, hits a sheep, and I'm pretty sure he's just squished a bogan there.
He certainly seemed to pick all of those targets out quite cleanly.
It's going to be very upsetting for the vegans in the audience. Look at this, pig, sheep, bogan. Oh, that's just brutal.
Well, I think the animals will be okay because they were on grass, but that bogan just got sandwiched.
And unfortunately, we say goodbye to Reggie. Lucky break for Max Speed, and oh, look at that, the bogan's actually okay. Looks like he fended off the McLaren.
Well, you're not tough unless you're bogan tough. All right, well, we say goodbye to Reggie Thistleton.
Reggie!
A fellow fan of the show.
Oh, it's brilliant. I can't believe it's in its last season.
Yeah, it's going to be sad. And if you know what show we're talking about, leave us a comment with what it is.
Wowzers, that Mazda's quick.
It looks like Brandon Fitz is trying to reel him in, but Gordon Shumway is feeding the jandle to the Mazda.
What has he got under the hood of that thing to be dragging off from McLaren like that?
Takes an easy win. Brandon Fitz second. It looks like Hugh J is third and a very close race for fourth.
I was so busy watching the Mazda and the McLaren up front, I missed this epic battle in behind. Hugh Jazz managed to work his way past the Monaro, and then look at this, they're both coming in reverse, a reverse drift there from the Monaro, and it's so close to the finish line, but the Nova just takes it, so unfortunately Max Speed is eliminated.
Oh, you must be gutted that the Holden's gone, mate.
Yeah, but luckily I'm also a fan of pickup trucks, and there's still two of those to go.
Well, they've still got to contend with the McLaren and the Nova wagon.
I'm not too worried about the McLaren because so far all of the European cars have fallen over.
Well, apparently Brandon Fitz didn't get the memo there as he tries to throw Gordon Shumway off the track, and he works his way past him as they exit Bogan Alley, and he is going to take a win there with a 14.822 time.
That was some very impressive dirty driving, and what happened to the Mazda?
Let's just check the replay here.
Brandon Fitz there muscling poor old Gordon Shumway, almost throwing him completely off the track. Some quick pedaling of the Mazda managed to keep him on track, but old Brandon Fitz slipped on by, and unfortunately Gordon blew a tyre exiting petrol head corner, and he is out of the competition.
That is a real shame. I thought the Mazda was going to go all the way because that thing was lightning quick, but Brandon Fitz taking it out completely.
And now Brandon starts on the pole with the C10 outside and the Nova on his tail.
Brandon puts the hammer down early. The Nova and the C10 bumper to bumper as they exit Bogan Alley. Not quite sure what's happened there. Looks like they might have tangled up, and a drift there from Brandon Fitz in the McLaren. You don't see, whoa, and a super close finish again.
How the heck did Brandon Fitz manage to drift that McLaren? They're just not designed for that. And then a super tight battle for that second position, knowing that the last one across the line is going to get eliminated, and the C10 pushed so hard, but I think the Nova got it. And what a way to celebrate as he crosses the line there.
Let's just double check that from the other angle. There's the McLaren going through, and it's the Nova of Mikey Michelson just a nose ahead of Hugh Jazz in the C10, so we say goodbye to Hugh.
Oh, I'm really disappointed both those pickups are gone, but also super surprised that the McLaren's still in it. No European cars lasted this long.
It certainly has been a disappointing run from the European cars up until now, but this McLaren is absolutely on fire. It could have something to do with the metal chassis and metal body, and unusually it has plastic wheels, so that thing is super quick, and he takes the win, and he is moving on.
A commanding drive there from Brandon. He took an early lead and just never looked back, and unfortunately Mikey Michelson tried very hard in the Nova, but you see there the distance back he was was by the end of the race. He just could not keep up.
So that is our final elimination for the orange team. Congratulations, Brandon Fitz, you're moving through to the final. But first up, it's time for you to take on the current Outlaw champ, Horvin Sung, driving Munted.
I think Brandon's going to have his work cut out for him here. He hasn't come up against a vehicle quite like Munted before, and many drivers before have been caught out by this sleeper.
Well, Brandon tucks into an early lead, but Munted right up on his bumper. Look at that as they go through the exit to Bogan Alley. Somehow Brandon finds another gear here and he gets away from Munted. That is incredible.
So many times we've seen Munted creep up behind people as they exit Bogan Alley and slip right by. Looked like he was going to try it here, but Brandon Fitz just kept the hammer down, gave it the beans and got out into the lead, and unfortunately Munted this time just did not have an answer.
Well, from our second slowest qualifier, Brandon Fitz moves through to the final round, and in the only European exotic car as well.
It's shaping up to be an absolute corker of a final next week, plus I've got a little something special planned for the start of the racing next week, so you're going to have to tune in and see what that is.
We hope you've enjoyed the racing tonight. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Tom Spanners Watson, he's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We look forward to seeing you next time.